The Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has had plenty of his doubters, with questions over his tactics and his man management. This season he's proved a lot of them wrong, as despite being the youngest manager in the league, with the youngest team, Arsenal have shown great signs of progress. But with his current contract up in 2023, are Paris Saint-Germain monitoring his Arsenal future? Also, what's the latest on the injury of Takehiro Tomiyasu, and could Alexandre Lacazette be offered a new one-year contract? Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bavs14. Welcome yourselves back to my channel, and I am still very happy after yesterday's victory. I'm in a good mood, but again, the game on Wednesday is in my head as well. It's looming, so let's look forward to it by smashing a like on this video if you enjoy, subscribing if you are new, and helping your boy on his road to 80,000 subscribers. We're getting straight into that Arsenal news and starting off with the contract of Mikel Arteta. Over his entire Arsenal tenure, there's been a lot of debate on whether he is that guy for Arsenal to take us to the next level. 8th place finish last year, 8th the year before that, but then again the FA Cup victory, and even this year the youngest team in the league, sitting in 4th place, looking a bit comfortable, dare I say, and favourites to get Champions League football. As things stands, I think I can say with confidence that a lot of the fan base, a majority of the Arsenal fan base, is backing Mikel Arteta. As things stands, his contract expires in 2023, and that's very important because according to reports, Arsenal have been looking to extend his contract for a while now, with the Arsenal hierarchy and the Arsenal ownership most importantly convinced that Arteta is that guy. But regardless of your thoughts on whether he is that guy for Arsenal, there is no doubt that he has a lot of potential to be a very good manager, learning from Pep Guardiola with a sprinkle of Arsene Wenger, whether it's the positional play tactics, the cultural overhaul. I think it's no coincidence that a lot of clubs around Europe are looking at Mikel Arteta. And speaking of that, according to L'Equipe today in France, Mikel Arteta alongside Eric Ten Hag and Antonio Conte are 3 of the 10 possible candidates to replace Mauricio Pochettino as the next PSG manager. But it's not just Paris Saint-Germain, because a few months ago, according to the reliable Athletic, Man City have also got Arteta on their shortlist. For the sake of Paris Saint-Germain, I kind of think it does make a little sense for them, at least, in the sense of they have a very toxic dressing room, and looking at what Arteta's done at Arsenal, the way the Arsenal overall culture used to be, and the way he's changed that now, I can see why PSG like Mikel Arteta, but then again, he's our manager. He's the manager of Arsenal Football Club, and we are a gargantuan institution, so if you want to take it from us, it's going to take something gargantuan as well. But on the possibility of a new contract, according to Football London's Chris Whitley, Arsenal are confident that Mikel Arteta will extend his contract with the club. His current deal expires in 2023, and Paris Saint-Germain are amongst the teams monitoring his current situation. So Mr. Wheatley confirms that PSG alongside a host of clubs are looking at Arteta, but once again reassures the Arsenal fans that Arsenal themselves are confident they can retain the services of the Spaniard. And even for myself, I don't really have any fear, and that's because Mikel Arteta has been given so much power at Arsenal. He's not the Arsenal first team head coach, he's the Arsenal manager. Looking around the rest of the Premier League, you don't have that many remaining managers. It's a very old school regime. So the fact that Arteta has been given so much power, the freedom in the transfer market, the budget as well to sign the players that he wants, the Arsenal board have given Mikel Arteta all the trust they could possibly give. They stuck by him when he was 16th, they stuck by him when he finished 8th back to back, and I believe that trust is also reciprocated on behalf of Arteta. This guy loves Arsenal Football Club. He left Man City to come to Arsenal Football Club. Over the past few years, you've had reports about Barcelona's interest, Man City's interest, and now PSG, but every time Arteta has been asked about this in press conferences, he's always reassured Arsenal fans his future is at Arsenal Football Club. But what do you guys make of PSG's reported interest in Mikel Arteta, and do you think Arsenal need to extend his contract as soon as possible? But talking about Arteta, when Arsene Wenger was asked on if he has recaptured the spirit at Arsenal, he says it looks like yes. I think so, yes. We still have some way to go because we were dominating for some time. All the ingredients are there. The club has invested a lot of money for the first time since we built the stadium. The team is stable now in results. His leadership looks to be accepted by the players, and there is a connection between him and the team. So overall, what you see from outside is positive. So Mikel Arteta has the seal of approval from the great Arsene Wenger. And as Arsenal fans know, when Arsene speaks most often, you have to listen. This is a man with so much footballing wisdom. He was at Arsenal for 20 plus years, gave us Arsenal fans some of the best of our memories. And so many of us recent Arsenal fans are fans of Arsenal because of Arsene Wenger and the time he had at Arsenal Football Club. So the fact that he can see the positives and the signs of what Arteta is building as an Arsenal fan gives me reassurance that we are building something special. And even according to Premier League legend Alan Shearer, he says they are a very young squad, the youngest in the Premier League. So there's only one way Arsenal are going, and that is up. If they get into the top 4 position and get 2 or 3 big hitters in, they could be dangerous next season. The next step of his entire so-called process, the next step of his process is now going to be Champions League football. If and hopefully we can secure that, we are going to have so many extra possibilities in the summer transfer window. You've already had reports that the Cronkies are going to back Mikel Arteta massively like they have in the past. You add that to the Champions League group stage money. To put it simply, if you want the best players in the market, you have to be in the best of competitions. So if Arsenal can get that Champions League footy alongside the money that Cronkies are giving Arteta, then maybe, just maybe, as Arteta said last season, the project might just go bang. How many signings do you think Arsenal are away from being that competitive powerhouse again? Moving on, let's discuss the injury of Takehiro Tomiyasu. The Japanese excellence of Takehiro Tomiyasu has been stripped from us Arsenal fans ever since he got that calf injury against Man City on the opening day of the year. This guy just has not recovered, and as things stand, he still is out with that same old calf injury. But when Arteta was asked on Tomiyasu's return, he said he needs to be consistently training for a period so that we can minimize the risk of having another recurring injury in the same muscle, because it will be something to worry about and we have to stay away from that. Arteta also says that he had a calf injury and after that he had a really quick recovery. We play him maybe too quick, I don't know. He has a reoccurring injury there and he felt it again one day when he came back into training with us. I feel disappointed because he has been really important. As Mikel Arteta says, that Arsenal now need to be very careful. It looks like this calf injury is very delicate and if Arsenal don't handle it properly, they risk the possibility of losing a very important starter for a longer period of time. And it is going to be very interesting to see what Arteta does on that game on Wednesday. We have a massive game. This is as gargantuan as it gets. Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium, especially after the night's result where Man City were to draw against Crystal Palace. Pep Guardiola needs Mikel Arteta to pull out a big one. But then again, Liverpool coming to the Emirates with a title of a lion. They're charging down Man City. They need to win this game. But likewise, Arsenal Football Club, ambitions of Champions League football. This game, my friend, is setting up to be one of the biggest games of the season so far. And their superpower, of course, is that front three. Luis Diaz, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane. If we can then get the return of Takehiro Tomiyasu to replace Cedric Suarez, it would give Arsenal a massive much needed boost. But what are your own thoughts going into that game on Wednesday? Do you think Arteta's Arsenal has what it takes in the locker to beat this informed Liverpool team who have 8 wins in a row? With Arsenal's imperious home form taken into account, do you think Arsenal can beat Liverpool? My friends, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. But talking about right backs, according to David Ornstein, Arsenal right back Brooke Norton-Cuffy, who is 18 years of age, on loan at Lincoln City, has caught the eye of suitors in the Premier League and other major European divisions. But The Athletic understands that a new long-term contract has been offered to the player and he's expected to accept it. You look at the way that Tomiyasu has struggled so much with injuries. The fact that Arsenal reportedly want to sign a different type of right back that can get forwards, can really attack. If I was to give you guys a player to watch going into next year, it would indeed be Brooke Norton-Cuffy. 18 years of age as it stands, on loan down there in League One, even though they've been linked to the likes of Wilfred Singo, Jed Spence. As shown by the likes of Bukayo Saka, Smith Rowe in the past, we can also rely upon Hill End. So the fact that David Ornstein confirms that Arsenal are now looking to extend his contract, it says to me that Arsenal have an eye on next season and potentially we might see more of young Brooke Norton-Cuffy. Moving on to a bit of transfer news, according to Fabrizio Romano, Fiorentina are more than happy with Lucas Torreira. There are talks on to reach an agreement on a permanent deal with Arsenal, and there is a £15 million buy option clause currently included in his loan deal. This is going to be a very quick and clear transaction. Torreira is a player that Arsenal sees surplus to requirements and quite clearly has impressed quite a lot of Fiorentina. So with a price tag set at just €15 million, Fiorentina are most definitely going to activate that and Torreira is going to be a permanent Fiorentina player. And for myself, it's a little bit annoying because I have always been a massive fan of Lucas Torreira, and for a price tag of just €15 million, I think Fiorentina are getting a bargain. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, responding to a tweet from Piers Morgan saying that Arsenal have missed Aubameyang, says, "Thanks Piers, but sometimes everyone benefits from a separation. Most important is that everyone is happy now, and we had good times that I don't forget." A massive big up to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, playing it so mature right now and doing so well at Barcelona, scoring goals week in week out. I couldn't be much happier. But as he himself points out there, Arsenal have also done pretty well since the transfer. 28 points out of a possible 33, Arsenal have been on fire, not because Pierre was holding Arsenal back, but more because we have a different profile striker now. So shout out to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang for being mature, for not being petty, not sending shots towards Arsenal Football Club, doing his thing at Barcelona, and still wishing Arsenal Football Club the best of luck. It was a great deal ideal for all parties. So Mr. Piers Morgan, I appreciate your opinions, but at the same time just shush up a little bit and just keep it moving. Moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with quotes from Mikel Arteta where he discusses the Arsenal transfer targets going into the upcoming transfer window, saying there are two things: the amount of games that you play and the amount of players you need in the squad, the players you are losing or retaining in that squad, and then the players that are available, which playing in European competitions changes a lot. There is no denying the fact that Arsenal playing only one game a week this year has massively helped us out in the race for the Champions League, in the sense that we have more time for our players to recover, more time for Arteta to coach his players, and allowing Arsenal to keep their first 11 fit, which has been very important because, as we saw towards the end of last season, Arsenal's season fell apart. And that is why Arsenal's summer transfer plans are going to be very important in the sense of what are they going to do with the current first teamers. Are they going to sign players to make the current first teamer squad players? Are they going to give the likes of Alexandre Lacazette a one-year contract to almost keep him as a backup striker? And if they do get Champions League football, then what caliber of players can they really attract? But talk to me about yourselves, and going into the next transfer window, exactly how many players do you think Arsenal need to sign? It is that time of the day, as Martin Odegaard has now created 49 chances in the Premier League this season, the most by any Arsenal player since the season, the most by an Arsenal player in a season since Mesut Ozil with 84 and Alexis Sanchez with 51 in 2017-18. For Arsenal in the league this year, he has the most passes into the box, most final third passes, most chances created, most through balls, and most possession won in the final third. I will keep saying this time and time again, Martin Odegaard is the key for this Arsenal attack to operate. And here's another Arsenal stat, as after facing 121 corners, Arsenal remain the only side yet to concede a goal from a corner in the Premier League this season. And just cast your eyes back to the years of even Arsene Wenger, Unai Emery. We used to concede so many set pieces. I hated facing corners, whereas nowadays I actually relish the opportunities, and going forward from corners, Arsenal are finally a threat. And for that, a massive shout out has to go for the brand new set piece coach in Nicolas Jova. Xhaka, speaking on Lacazette, says, in the end, people want him to score. People only see if players score, but people sometimes don't see how important he is for us, not only on the pitch but as well off the pitch. Now, I don't think he's a long-term answer. I don't think we need to keep him for the long-term either. But only because he's not the most prolific of goal scorers doesn't mean he doesn't contribute. He's got the most Arsenal assists in the league this year. I think 7 in his last 10 appearances. He is clearly a massive leader, hence why Mikel Arteta gives him the armband on the pitch. Over the past few days, I've seen a lot of conversation of what are Arsenal going to do next, and should they give Alexandre Lacazette a brand new contract. For myself, I'm still very torn because I think going into the long term, I appreciate his services. I think Arsenal need brand new blood going forward. We need to revitalise the attack and kind of cut ties with the past. But then again, my friends, what's your own thoughts on Mr. Lacazette? And if it came down to you, let me know down below in the comments. Would you offer Laka a cheeky new one-year contract extension? Whether he of course accepts is a completely different matter. But that is the video there. If you have enjoyed it as always, make sure to go down there and smash a like, and also do subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was all of the latest Arsenal news today, and a massive gargantuan game looms on Wednesday. I'm very nervous, but again, I'm kind of relishing the prospect. So my friends, we'll see what happens, and I'll see you next time. Take care in a bit.